Hello and welcome to the next video of the LPL 2025 preview series where we're going to cover LNG Esports. Currently, based on last year's stats, this roster would rank 6th going into this season. One of the better orgs over the last 4 years in the LPL, appearing at Worlds 3 of those 4 years. They finished in championship points 3rd the last 2 seasons, 6th in 2022. 2 of the 5 players are returning from last year's roster. Zika and Weiwei. Scout, Gala, and Hung are all gone from the bot side of the rift. So, Zika, one of the best top laners in the world, definitely in that 5th to 8th range, depending on meta. He's pretty damn good, and he's only 21 years old still. So there's still growth to be had there. 3.5 KDA, a 58.6 KP, and an 8.3 CS per minute. So pretty high kill participation. He's involved. 3 out of every 5 kills almost. 0.2 share differential and a 1.27 damage divided by gold. On average, up 55 gold, 2.91 vision score per ward. Placed 17 champions in 105 games. Ranked 2nd last year based on stats in the LPL. Kesante, Renekton, and Rumble accounted for half of his champion pool. To back him up is Ali. Ali, 2.3 KDA, a 66.7 KP, and an 8.2 CS per minute, 1.56 damage divided by gold, and 12 champions at 38 games. That's a strong stat line there. I mean, the KDA is a little bit to be desired, but 2 out of every 3 kills, that is super high for a top laner. Very involved. You could argue that LNG Academy were fighting around him. And a 1.56 damage divided by gold might be higher than any Tier 1 top laner last season. Xin Shang is the 3rd top laner in the organization. A 2.2 KDA, 57 KP, 7.3 CS per minute, a 1.35 damage divided by gold, 9 champions, 27 games. In the jungle is Weiwei. Weiwei replaced Tarzan. LNG still go to Worlds, as did Weibo. So in the end, it worked out for both teams. This is one of those teams last spring that everybody wrote off as being a squad that wasn't going to turn it around. They had too big of issues. And in the end, they put everybody to shame and went to Worlds. 4 KDA, 71, 1 KP, 6.2 CS per minute. All very solid numbers last season. You're going to find with this roster that it is a solid roster, and that's why it's 6th going into this season. Zika being the highest point, Zhuo being the lowest in the bot lane at the support role, and everyone else is just upper half, and upper half is playoffs. And possibly regional finals, which is where they're projected to end up. -3 share differential, 1.06 damage divided by gold, 100 gold behind on average, 3.7 vision score per ward placed, 21 champions, played 105 games, ranked 7th amongst LPL junglers, 24 years old, he's the oldest player on the team. Sejuani Maokai Vai, 31% of his games played. He has the widest champion pool on the team in terms of champion distribution last season. STS is the backup. 3.4 KDA, 85 KP, 6.1 CS per minute, 1.35 damage divided by gold, 7 champions in 9 games, very limited opportunities last season. We'll see how he does as the LNG Academy jungler. Mid lane Haichao played with LGD last season. If you watched the video that just came out a few hours ago, several hours ago earlier today, he and Meteor really paired together and played at a high level. Haichao taking that next step forward in summer as a guy that is an upper half or middle of the road mid laner in the LPL instead of a bottom tier 1. And he's going to continue to grow. A 4.4 KDA, 65.9 KP, 9.3 CS per minute. So decent amount of farm there. Maybe not as involved as some other mids in the LPL, but still finds his way around the rift. 2.1 share differential, 1.45 damage divided by gold. Down 75 at 15 minutes. 2.85 vision score per ward placed, 15 champions, 86 games, ranks 7th amongst LPL mids, 21 years old. Corki Tristana Azir, just under half of his games played. Saiku played with Weibo Academy and now joined LNG. Also had played with EDG in the past. 3.1 KDA, 65.5 KP, just under 9 CS per minute, 1.56 damage divided by gold, 12 champions, 33 games, is 20 years old. So they have some development there. Exelon is their third mid laner, no games played. And the bot lane duo they brought in are from Ninja and Pajamas, Victory 5, Fodic Zhuo are going to be together once more. Fodic, 4 KDA, 66 KP, 8 CS per minute. Keep in mind, Senna is his bread and butter. Last season dropping off a bit. The win rate was disgusting prior to last season, and it still was positive. Probably his strongest champion win rate-wise, and he played it a lot, so that's why his champion, why his CS is the way it is. 3.7 share differential, 1.66 damage divided by gold, negative 125 gold at 15 minutes, 2.7 vision efficiency, 20 champions in 124 games, ranked 7th last season in the LPL. 22 years old, Varus, Senna, Ezreal, 32% of his games, so wide champion pool as well. Fish 1 is the backup, no games played last season. Zhuo, weakest player on the team, bottom half support in the LPL last season. 3.6 KDA, a 68.3 KP, so different type of support. Some supports we see are near 75%. They are creating along with the jungler, roaming, making things happen. Zhuo, not as much. He's alongside Fodic, and they play as a duo. Negative 6.5 share differential. Let's just roughly look at this here. There is going to be gold to go around on this team. Someone's going to have to deal more damage than they were on their previous rosters. Because when you do the math, it checks out to, what, we got 0.2, 2.3, 6, but negative 3.5, so we need more damage on this roster. Negative 3.5 is not going to cut it. So someone's going to have to step up. We'll see who that ends up being in the damage department. 0.73 damage divided by gold, up 15 at 15 minutes. So if we do the math there, 70, negative 55, negative 130, negative 230. This roster is behind at 15 minutes if things stay the same as last season, which of course they won't, but just for the thought, laning-wise, how these players did last season in the early game and in the 1v1s and more of in a vacuum environment. 1.91 vision efficiency, 18 champions, 124 games, ranked 10th in the LPL, 23 years old, Nautilus, Rakan, Leona, 43% of his games. Ovo, barely played last season, only 10 games, had a 2.8 KDA, 73.1 KP. Did deal a lot of damage, 0.88, but 7 champions, 10 games. Yu is the coach. So Yu has a very good record in the regular season. The last few years as the coach, I think he's been the coach of LNG since summer of 2021, and like I said, has been to Worlds 3 of the last 4 years. So there is something to be said for what he brings to the table. 73 and 37 domestically in the regular season. That's 66% win rate. That's better than Maokai and Daney and others. 55 and 51 in the playoffs with a 52% win rate. Internationally, 17 and 13 for a 57% win rate. I expect this team to be a solid playoff team. Stats say that they should be able to compete into regional finals. I don't see why they couldn't with the roster they have. If Haichao takes the next step, continues to get better, Zika is still a top 5 to 8 top laner, and the bot lane duo of Fodic Zhuo return to form. I think a lot of people are going to put too much into winter, and especially for a team like this, it's going to take a while. A lot of folks think, oh, well, you're ranking them and this and that, and they're ranking them for winter, and I'm not doing that. This is a rank for this season. We'll look back at during Worlds of 2025 and see how it panned out. But as of right now, it doesn't really matter how teams perform in winter because it's Fearless. And Fearless right now is not projected to be a part of the Worlds format. So in the end, to decide who holds the trophy at the end and who actually can pay the roster and, make some money this season, Fearless isn't going to be a part of that. So, we'll see what happens. With that, this is a pretty decent team. Has been for the last few years. We'll see how they do. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.